Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you about IELTS and give tips to those who are planning to take it soon. If you're someone who's been planning to study, to immigrate, or to work abroad, you've probably heard about IELTS. IELTS stands for International English Language Test, which is a proficiency test that is recognized worldwide, and it tests the four English proficiency areas: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So those four core areas, you could get as high as 9 for each of the areas, and then they would be giving you an average, which is called the band score, overall band score. IELTS is actually organized by language experts. If I'm not mistaken, those are IDP, British Council, and the Cambridge, as far as I know. And there are a lot of language proficiency tests, but IELTS is what is mostly recognized worldwide. Now, there are two kinds of IELTS. The first one is IELTS Academic, which is required to those people who are going or who are planning to study abroad, and those who are planning to join a professional organization. The IELTS General, however, is for those who are planning to migrate or to immigrate to a different country. What is the IELTS passing score? If the highest score you could get is 9, is the passing score 5. So actually there's no such thing as failing or passing score, but it actually depends on the purpose of where you're going to use it for. Say for example, on my part, I applied for immigration through the express entry. They have a standard that you can't get as low as 6.5, as far as I know, in every area. Each score in each area, there is a specific point. In express entry, there's called a CRA score. So that is how they base their invitation for you to apply. So if you have met the minimum number of points, then you will be invited to apply for immigration. I've already taken the exam twice, once in 2014 and once in 2019. So it's not because I failed or I wasn't able to meet the lowest score. It's because IELTS results is only valid for 2 years. Yes, it's only valid for 2 years. You have to pay for the exam, you have to take the exam, and you have to go through the entire process of it and use it for 2 years. So it expires after 2 years. So if you have other purpose to use it for, you have to retake it, like in my case. In 2014, there is only one medium in taking the exam, which is the paper-based test. So you're given the questionnaire and you're given the answer sheet just like the usual exam, and then you have to write your answers, of course, in the answer sheet. But now, recently, they also added a computer-based test wherein you complete the exam, the writing, the listening, and the reading tests through the use of a computer. But in speaking, it stays the same. You still have to talk to a real interviewer, to go through it face to face, which is quite embarrassing for some people like me. I think the most embarrassing part of the exam is the speaking test, and in my 2019 score, that is where I performed the poorest, I think, and I'm even surprised that I got a 7. What are the scores that I got? So let me give you the scores. In 2014, I have these scores. Okay, so you can see there the average, and in 2019, here are my scores. Okay, you would compare them. You would see that I performed better in one or a couple of areas in 2014, and I've performed better in one or a couple of areas in 2019. How much is the registration fee? In 2014, I believe it was around 8,000 pesos in 2014, and in 2019 it was about 11,000, or around 10 to 11,000. So that's how expensive IELTS exam is. So if you're going to take it, make sure that you are prepared, and you don't really have to get a 9. Just get as high as you could. So better prepare for it. I personally did not enroll for a review. I self-reviewed while working. Basically because I don't want to spend extra. The exam alone is already expensive, so I just bought a reviewer, yes, which is just a photocopied one. It's not an original. If you have applied, or if you've already taken the board exam, or have already have a professional license, you are well aware of PRC. And you know that outside PRC, there are a lot of vendors selling a lot of things that you could use professionally. There are also online resources, free. Some are free, some are paid. So it's up to you which one works for you best. So it's up to you to be resourceful. If you don't want to spend on the review, you can look for different resources. There's online resources, there are paper resources, books, reviewers. You can even borrow for some materials from those people you know that already took the test. So what are the tips that I could give you? First one, before the test, you have to prepare, of course. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Consistency is key. So make sure that you really allot some time for you to review. I know that it's hard to review by yourself if you're working, but you have to make time for it, because again, it's not cheap, and you don't want to, as much as possible, you want to get the scores that you want, that you need to, in one take. Before you book for a test, make sure that you have ample time to prepare for it. So if you need like about 2 months for you to review, make sure that you book it 2 months prior to the test day. The night before your exam, make sure, of course, that you have ample amount of sleep. Make sure that your mind is relaxed. Don't get too stressed. Don't be too worried about it, because it's not going to help you during your exam day. It's also safe that you visit the venue, the exam venue, days before your exam day, so that you already know exactly where the venue is on your exam day. You don't want to risk going to it first time on your test day, because you might be late. Now, on the day of the exam, make sure that you arrive before the time of the start of the test. In my case, I had a different day on the speaking test and a different day for the listening, writing, and reading test. When your booking is confirmed, you will be receiving a confirmation email where everything you need to know is indicated. So there is the exact time of the start, the date, the venue, everything that you need to know, the things that you need to bring. So make sure to read it. And I advise that you read it twice so that you don't miss anything. If you chose the paper-based test, basically you have to bring a pencil, an eraser, a sharpener, and your identification. But in my experience, they have those available at the venue, but you don't want to risk it again. You might want to bring your own. On a computer-based test, you don't need to bring anything aside from your identification, because everything will be done on a computer. You don't want to bring any valuables with you aside from your phone if you really can't leave your home without it, because you won't be allowed to bring anything. But you can bring the pencil, of course, the things that you will be needing in the exam itself. They have a secure room where you can leave your things, but they don't take responsibility for lost items. So don't bring any valuables with you. Don't bring a lot of money, because you won't be needing them on your exam day. Okay, during the exam, don't get panicked. Don't tell yourself that you're timed. Don't feel the pressure. I know that you are time pressured, but don't focus your mind on it. Just take your time. Just read all the questions. Just listen to the recording. You don't want to spend more than a minute to a question. So if a minute has already passed and you still haven't answered the question, then jump to the next question and just go back to it once you have extra time. Make sure that you have all answers in all answers in all items. In listening and writing test, you're given time to read all the questions first before you listen to the recording or read the article. So pay attention to the keywords. It's very important because once you listen to that keyword, the answer is already with that keyword. Okay, so basically those are the things that you should know while taking the test. Okay, so how long does the exam usually take? As far as I remember, in speaking, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. In writing, listening, and reading, it's no more than 3 hours. After the test, you will be asked to wait for the results. I think it's about 2 weeks before they release the result. You'll also be needing your picture, so they will have your photo taken because the result that you will receive has your photo in it. You don't want to smile because they don't let you smile. Just your neutral face, your ears should be shown in the picture. There, after the exam, you're done. What are the personal experiences that I think I should share with you? In my 2019 test, I was really sleepy. Because I didn't get much sleep before the exam because I was pregnant and I was so worried about the test. After the listening and reading test, you will be given about 2 minutes to check your answers. So you might want to go back to the questions and check if you've answered everything. Again, don't leave anything blank. On the last part of the reading test, I almost fell asleep because I was really sleepy. I was about 9 months pregnant when I took the test. I didn't know that I would be giving birth a week after the day I took the test. It's also very important that you read the number of words or numbers that is allowed in each item. In reading test, it could go as long as 3 pages. You don't have to read everything, but just make sure that you know the skill of scanning. Scanning is actually looking for the important parts, because those important parts include the answers to the questions. Okay, so basically those are the things that I want to share with you. Be prepared, and I wish you well, and don't forget to pray before, during, and after the test. Okay, so I wish you luck. Don't let this pandemic stop you from doing what you want, from reaching the dreams that you want to reach. Whether or not you enroll for a review, just be prepared and do your part. Be diligent. And again, you have to make time for it. Don't just take it just for the sake of taking it. Just take it and do your best, perform best, and be at your best during the test. Okay, so that would be all. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, thank you so much again. Be safe, be well, and have a great day. Bye.